Hello, peoples. It's time again. We're back. Now, this is not going to be every 2 weeks like we were doing before. At least not right now. It's going to be whenever we get it together. That's all. So, we're going to be talking about, and it's just me and Eric. So we're just going to sit here and talk about something we know very well, very similarly to World of Darkness. We're going to talk Warhammer 40k tonight. Oh, fuck me, Freddy. I don't know if maybe, I hope I'm still going out on live on the, but I'm not. Oh, shit. Dude, I don't know what the hell just happened, but I forgot to unmute. So we're going to have to restart. No, fuck it. Never mind. They're just going to have to deal with a little bit of blank at the beginning. So. Oops.
Yeah, it happens, man. I do it all the time when I'm streaming.
So welcome back, dude. I'm gonna mention this. I'm gonna go through it again because I just did it with nobody listening. We're back. We're not back every 2 weeks. We're just gonna be back whenever the hell we feel like it. So just for that. And tonight we're gonna be talking about Warhammer 40k. Something both me and Eric know well.
I know way too well. Oh my god.
Oh god, dude. I've been fucking with this shit for I actually had thought about it earlier today. It's been close to 35 years.
Yeah, I've been playing since it came out in 1986.
I wasn't that far back.
Yeah, I mean that was back when all the figures were made out of white lead or lead, which was kind of cool, because you could
you could pose them a little bit.
Yeah, because all you had to do was put it under some hot water and it would spin really nice. But then again, it's fucking lead.
Yeah, I know, right?
Let's just say the price of miniatures went up by a lot when they switched to pewter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that was Steve Jackson had a lot to do with that. With them,
Oh no, it was
no, it wasn't Steve Jackson. Who was it put out all those D&D figures?
that was Ralph Partha did that.
That's it,
And
Ralph Partha.
They were all lead up to a point, and then the U.S. banned the use of lead in anything.
Anything even remotely toy related.
I mean, just anything. No lead in anything except bullets, basically.
Yeah.
And that was what happened. So suddenly, Games Workshop, which was importing everything from England at the time, there wasn't any stores in America.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, there were, but you had to. It was all mom and pop stores, and only because they could get it from England.
I was talking about the big old Games Workshop branded stores. Yeah, they had those all over Nottingham in England for a while. That's where they started off at, and then eventually they came over here. But it wasn't until I want to say almost 2000 that they started putting Games Workshop stores in the United States.
Yeah, I would think so. But yeah, it was mostly comic book stores, and when D&D kicked off heavy, it were all these little mom and pop game stores that suddenly popped up.
I worked in one in high school.
We had one that was a hardware store in back, and it was a game store in front.
Yeah. There was a place inside of a five and dime store. I can't think of anything else to call it when I was in high school. And there's a comic book store just off to the side in there. And I used to shop there all the time because he always had that was where I got Watchmen. It was the only place I could get that or
Heavy Metal.
Heavy Metal magazine. Yeah, exactly.
That was the only place. And Dragon magazine and Plot.
And
all
White
the
Dwarf.
cool shit.
Yep.
That wasn't torn.
White Wolf magazine. I know, yeah.
And then
well, I had some of those comics there too. Cherry Pop Tart and all that.
Yeah.
but
I was looking at an old Vampirella.
yeah,
Not, I don't actually own it. It was somebody had posted some of the images from an old Vampirella comic book, and I'm like, man, really? Holy
yeah,
crap!
yeah. They cleaned her up a lot the past probably 10 years or so. But Vampirella was a great comic. I mean, they did a
Oh, it
lot of story.
was.
But
And she just wore all kinds of nothing.
yeah, pretty much.
So, what have you been playing lately as far as Warhammer, other than, well,
Oh,
tabletop or?
yeah. I, I got the ninth edition stuff, and
Ah,
I'm really happy with ninth edition, the brand new edition that just came out. Uh, for a while there, I got out of 40k because I couldn't use most of my figures after a while. And the other thing is that I had a Slanesh army, like an Emperor's Children kind of chaos, band.
oh, okay.
But I had converted everything, like each individual figure was converted, if that makes sense. I had sculpted a bunch of stuff on them, but the thing was that when I started painting them, I had modeled myself into a corner because I couldn't just churn out guys because each one, had a different head or, a boob or something, something crazy.
Right.
And so eventually I sold that one off. And then I just kept my demons and stuff, and I've been collecting Slanesh demons since high school.
So you
So I've
just
got
kind of went down the chaos direction.
Yeah, after a while. I mean, my very first army, the first one I got was Eldar,
Ah,
and from that and I got into Harlequins more than anything, which I was really happy when they brought them back, and that was a while back. But yeah, so now I have I have a Drukari, Dark Eldar, and Harlequin army now, as well as this gigantic Slanesh demon army that I can use for either Warhammer Age of Sigmar or 40k, which is why I got back into it with that, because I
now
have an army used in 2 games.
I've been playing a phone game, oddly enough. It's called Combat Cards.
Yeah, that's based on an actual game.
Yeah, I know.
It's yeah. I mean, it's like I hadn't seen it in a long time, and I didn't even know that they redid it or anything else. But
And I'm enjoying the shit out of it, dude.
it's fun. It's
I'm
a cool little
actually a
game.
member of the Ultramarines,
There you go, man.
and that's all I play. I don't even bother with. I mean, okay, I have an Orc deck, and I have an Eldar deck, but I don't use it very often. I've just spent most of my time upgrading all of my Space Marine cards and gold, and yeah, I'm having big fun with that. But it's
Cool.
something to do while you're sitting on the toilet. Now, I
Yeah.
was playing most recently Dawn of War 3. Yeah, it sucked. It was bad.
Yeah, I was graphically it's cool.
Yeah,
You know,
it's very pretty,
great.
but the game sucks, man. It's just like, I mean, it took you long enough to try and realize what your guys could actually do, what all of your upgrades were, all of that shit. But every campaign mission was a different race. So you had to keep swapping back and forth, and so you never got into depth in anything. It sucked.
Yeah. And then because it sucked, they didn't really do anything else with it.
Nope. But there are plenty of people that are still modding Dawn of War.
Yeah, I know, man. You
I
told me about that.
mentioned one to you. That was the unification mod. That's 17 new factions that they've added to Soulstorm for that one.
What
And
was it called?
then there was
Unification?
another one that came out 2 weeks before it called the Ultimate Apocalypse mod. And I don't know a whole bunch about that.
What's it called?
The Ultimate Apocalypse mod.
No, the one before that.
Oh, Unity.
Unification.
Yeah, Unification. That's it.
Okay. Oh, there's a new version.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking. Right.
Ah, okay.
Because I've been thinking about playing it again.
Right.
Because I really liked, the original Dawn of War, and I like Dawn of War 2.
Well, you go look at how much time I've spent
Yeah.
in Soulstorm.
It's about as much time. Well, I had it on discs,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still have all of my discs and stuff from my computer. So I have some stuff they haven't even put back out again.
I have all of my old shit too, but I'm finding out that a lot of those discs don't work anymore.
Yeah, you got to clean them up.
No.
No?
It's not that. I always clean them before I use them. It's just the thing with CDs is they degrade over time. You know that, right?
Yeah. Well, kind of. It's a very long time that they degrade, though.
Yeah,
but probably
and
what's
some of
going
these discs I've had since the 90s.
Yeah, and then you put them in a new CD-ROM drive, and they don't read.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because of the technology in the CD-ROM drive. It's just the laser doesn't read it anymore because it's an older version type of thing.
Yeah, it's the whatever codec or whatever it uses.
Yeah,
to
and then
interpret the data.
Dude, and I also play I love Blood Bowl. Oh my god.
Yeah, I've been watching you. You've been spending some time in Blood Bowl too.
I got figs coming out my butt because I love the game so much. Because I like sitting down and painting a team here and there. But I got into that right at the same time. Well, I want to say roughly the same time I got into 40k because it was just it was a chit and grid game for a while, because they didn't have figures for it, or you had to borrow Warhammer figures and use those. They did do a thing for a while that was really fun called Dungeon Bowl, where because Games Workshop put out these dungeon tiles that they had that was for use with like D&D and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would use ones that came in the box along with those to make a whole dungeon that you play in, and instead of like having a field where you pass the ball and stuff, each ball is in a chest, and 3 of those, like 6 chests across the thing, and a couple of them explode, but eventually you'll find the ball, and then you have to get it to the other side of the dungeon. It's really kind of weird.
It does sound fun though.
It is, man, because you can bounce the ball off of walls and stuff. It's really a trip. Jumping over lava, all kinds of stuff. But with 40k, man, I mean, I think I've played through just about every edition up until like I want to say 5th or 6th.
Well,
when I just couldn't use my army anymore, I was just pissed, and I went to play more Malifaux instead.
Well, there's a lot of people also complaining about the Primaris Marines. They're making the old style Marines useless.
Well, yes and no. I mean, the thing is that as of 8th edition, you can use any fig, and they have stats for every fig they ever produced, pretty much. That's been part of it.
Yeah, but the a rifle squad of Primaris Marines could take on a full complement of regular Marines.
Yeah,
that's that just seems a bit OP.
Well, they're also like expensive. Compared to your standard Marines. Like I just sold a whole army of Marines that I had laying around that somebody gave me, and it sold in like a couple hours, man. I was just amazed at how quickly Space Marines sell.
Wow.
So people are still gobbling them up, you know? I mean, the Space Marines have been like a big thing since the very beginning. And even though it annoys the fuck out of me, because I swear to God, I mean, come on, dude, how many more fucking Space Marines can you fucking make?
Quite a few. There are 1,000 chapters.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
I know.
It's like I got 5 codexes for all this shit. And it's like, you know, I just want Eldar. Is that too much to fucking ask?
Right? Well,
Oh,
or Tau, you know. Play
anything.
Somebody
Fucking anything.
play some Tau for a second, please.
Yeah, I mean, at least they gave Necrons some love.
Yeah, but they're the most OP nasties in the flippin' universe.
Well, you ever fought against Harlequins?
No.
They ignore terrain.
They do what now?
They completely ignore terrain.
They teleporters?
No, they have what are called flip belts, and they do acrobatics and shit. So they literally flip over terrain with like an anti-grav thing. And that's been their thing like forever. You know, they used to not have armor saves and just had the invulnerable save for the longest time, and they still do. That was supposed to be it was the first invulnerable save in the game was for Harlequins. And the cool thing about when they first came out was that you know, back then the army lists were just getting started. Like they didn't have lists. It was like an RPG a lot of ways. You built your squads from scratch, you know, as far as their weapons, everything else was concerned when the game first came out. And then when they started doing army lists, they introduced the Harlequins, and what you could do is literally take any model, and if you painted it garishly with lots of colors, you could use it in the Harlequins army.
Oh.
So I had a rainbow rhino, you know, and some other stuff that I ended up, you know, losing it over the years. But yeah, now I'm going back and buying some old models. I got a couple of original Death Jesters and some other stuff.
Nice. So,
and, yeah.
Have you played Battlefleet Gothic?
Yes. Oh man,
I had a lot of fun with that too.
The Eldar in that game are so, I mean, and then the Tyranid ships. They have Tyranid ships in that game.
Yes.
You know, ships, yep. I mean, exactly, the Hive ships, and that game is so cool,
and
they really bring it back. You know, except I mean, I still don't like the way the Chaos and the Imperial ships look, because they look like a really like how does that thing move? You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, I mean, okay, look at the Eldar in the Craft world. Those things are pretty good size too.
Well, I mean, they look like ships, like sailing ships or something, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get the Imperial ships that look like a block of wood, you know, with some turrets on.
And the big windows. What is up with the big windows?
They got to be able to see.
And not just windows, stained glass.
I know, yeah.
Listen, if you're going to put windows in a spaceship, you might want to be able to see out.
Yeah.
Just saying. Rocky, go lay down.
But I'll tell you, one of the, I also liked, really got into the Horus Heresy books when they first were out, before they got ridiculous.
Those are on my wish list. I haven't, but go ahead.
The one book that always stands out for me was Fulgrim. And Fulgrim was the what are they called, man? The head dude, the one came from the Emperor. Shit, what are they called?
What are you talking about? You mean the Primarchs?
Yes, thank you, Primarchs. But the Primarch of the Emperor's children who turned to Slaanesh. That the story of how the Emperor's children turned to Slaanesh is so absolutely wicked.
Okay. Now we talking about Horus Lupercal.
No, we're talking about Fulgrim.
Oh, okay. The other one.
Right, right, right. The Primarch of the Emperor's Children who turned Slaanesh. And the thing that was really wicked was that it was subtle. It's the only like of all of the different like traitor army, the traitors, Horus and all them guys, the Death Guard,
Yeah.
Thousand Sons, all that. It's like they were pretty obvious, like Magnus the Red of the Thousand Sons was a big red, turned into a big red guy.
Yeah.
It's kind of obvious that he turned to chaos, but whereas Fulgrim, it's just like they all wanted to be perfect, and that was just how Slaanesh took hold, was that perfection in everything. Everything had to be garish and beautiful and perfect. And Slaanesh played off of that perfection really well in that book. And it gave you the background for really where everybody, like all the major characters, like Lucius, that guy's a trip. I love that figure too. I really wish I still had it.
Right? By the way, some of the things we're talking about, I'm posting images of into the broadcast. Something I didn't know I could do until the other day.
Oh, right on, man.
And there's a picture of Fulgrim up now.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I mean that whole story. I mean, I still read that book, at least once a year or so, just because it's that good, at least to me anyway. Out of all of them.
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing more about that, about the Horus heresy, and
well, you got the first few books, which is kind of like the whole heresy, right? Like the whole story is in like 8 books. The first 8,
everything from his we talking about when he was being whispered to, that started the Horus's downfall up through the attack on the palace itself.
Yep. Siege of Terror.
Yeah. The one where we lose the first Inquisitor.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the Emperor set him on the throne to hold the webway closed while he dealt with Horus.
Yeah. And that didn't go too well.
It didn't go too well for Horus either, just saying.
Oh,
At
yeah,
least the
no, it didn't
Emperor
go good for you.
survived, quote unquote. Don't know quite know. And I guess now that it's been as long as it has, is that the Imperial cult doesn't realize it. They just let him die. He'll come back.
Yeah. Well, they're doing a thing. Well, they're actually finally fucking advancing the story forward.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, like, since the game has come out, it has been in the exact same era the entire time. And now they've, gone through with the Great Rift and all this other stuff, and chaos busting through. It's almost like what happened at the, they were saying that they were going to end the old, like, they told you that for fucking, like, the first 3 years before they came up with Age of Sigmar, And then people bitch, because the rules are better. But, I mean, It's not about the rules. It's well, I can't use this army. And I say, yet you can use the army because you've got the free stats online. You can use whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly.
It's like you can take all your old figs. It's not a rank and file system anymore, which is why I hated playing that fucking game. Because I couldn't stand rank and file, and if I wanted to do rank and file stuff and keep everything in a formation, I'd just play a Civil War game.
And then somebody drops a Titan on the board.
Yeah, I know. What the hell do you do with that? You don't move that fucking thing.
No,
It just sits there blowing shit up.
just
It's like,
blowing shit
why?
up, and just blowing everything up. I mean, come on, dude, that what is that? The one that looks like a big ass church. That thing can devastate whole worlds.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I mean, I get OP and the ability for the Imperium to turn out billions and billions of units and the Mechanicus turning out shit like that.
Yeah.
So I get, but you're right. I could never understand the concept of dropping a Titan onto the board, and I'm going,
Yeah.
what?
It's like, why did you build that? You just spent all that time building something that's almost as tall as you to put on a tabletop. It's like,
And they
really,
look
dude?
cool on the shelf, but
Well, at least now they got the Imperial Knights, which are small
yeah,
compared to Titans. And that's at least doable because you can at least move them.
they're like Devastator size, yeah.
You know, and
Are they?
that's cooler. I kind of dig the Chaos Knights. You know.
Chaos Marines look cool. I mean, they do. The armor's gothic as fuck and shit. I do love that. With the skulls and the horns and the, glowing eyes and shit like, it looks very epic and stuff.
Spiky bits. Just
Huh?
throw some spikes on a Space Marine,
What?
and then you got a chaos. If you throw some spikes on a Space Marine, you got a Chaos Marine. Just put spiky bits all over it.
That's all you can do.
Spiky
And
bits.
paint it red and white or black.
Yeah. And then that's an actual upgrade in the 3rd edition rules.
Is it?
Yeah, spiky bits. Yep. You can put spiky bits in your armor and it's got mechanical effects.
Hang on, I'm finding some chaos Marines. I'm gonna see if I can find a good one to and I ought to post some of these figs we're talking about. Because some of these are epic. Like, there's a new Chaos Space Marine here from Polygon that looks really epic.
Oh, they're coming up with some new stuff. The other thing is that there's a big rumor because they put out a bunch of Slanesh stuff this past year. And you know how they've been going through all the different chaos, like legions?
Oh, have they?
Yeah, they've done Nurgle, they've done Zinch, they've done Khorne, but they haven't done Slanesh yet. The
Oh,
Emperor's.
I would have thought Slanesh would have been early.
Well, yeah, I would. You would think that, but they had to kind of redo a lot of the line. Less boobs. Which
And that's
makes
the other
me.
thing. I don't know how anybody can play Nurgle. Anything, because that's just ew.
No, I love painting Nurgle stuff. I don't know what it is, but I have like decaying dead flesh down to a science.
Well,
You
then.
know, it's like I can make pus-filled gnarly shit, but if it comes down to like an elf, I'm fucked. I'm still working on regular flesh tones, but give me some fucked up greens and other stuff for like dead flesh, and I'm all over that.
Cool.
Like I had a Nurgle Blood Bowl team that I ended up selling off, but I think I might have picked some of a lot of it. Yeah, I do. Huh, cool.
You might have what? Oh, you did
I have
get
a lot of
picks.
pictures of the Blood Bowl team. It looks pretty sweet, but
There he
I'll
is.
start-
I just posted him up. It's a Baden with his freaking bolter claw.
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. That got that. Is that the new Abaddon?
Yeah,
Yeah, that fig is gnarly. It's great.
it looks cool. It really does. I mean, bolters in general are kind of hip. The Yeah, okay. Well, we've got a comment, by the way, finally. Somebody was saying that he likes our World of Darkness content more. Well, as soon as there's more World of Darkness content, I'd be more than happy to talk about it. But the
Guess what the
only
next book
thing we've
coming out
had
is?
pop
Oh
up
my god!
recently that would be worth talking about right now is Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood. And you really don't want to know how I feel about that game right now. Just saying. It was bad.
But hey man, guess what the next book coming out is?
Which one? Oh,
The
wait a
next
minute.
book. The next book coming out is the Sabbat.
Oh, well, then I guess we do have something to talk about soon.
Well, yeah, as soon as it comes out, but still, it's just like, okay, what do they do with the Sabbat? I gotta know.
And I guess we could talk about Samiti, Clan Book Samiti. I actually had a little input into that. Not much. Don't mind me. I wasn't actually, I just, Ian asked me to read some stuff for him, and I did. And it turned out I was a little better at editing than I thought I was. And, well, he had a bunch of stuff that popped up in what I'd read it wasn't misspelled. It was just the wrong word for that particular use.
Yeah, grammar.
So, anyway, let's get back to Warhammer 40k. Yes, just to let you know, Bob, we will be doing World of Darkness stuff too. We're just not going to be doing it solely because there's just not enough to talk about right now.
Yeah, it's kind of dead on that front, and I have my.
I mean, unless you want to talk about all the social justice shit that just keeps.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm not interested.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. It's like being an adult. That's just my deal. Act like a grown up and quit whining.
Oh, God.
That's all I gotta say about it.
The game wasn't meant for kids in the first fucking place. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Not every.
So
okay.
Back to Warhammer. So I've noticed when I was, futzing with some of this stuff, is how many Warhammer games I own. I just didn't realize it.
Oh yeah, there's been a ton of computer games. Like the first one I ever had was this one called Chaos Gate. It was like XCOM, basically, with Space Marines versus Chaos Warriors.
Oh,
that was really cool. But the actual very very first Games Workshop game I ever had was Blood Bowl, the actual original.
Yeah, the original DOS game. Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. And
that's where that's where I found out about the term Astrogranite.
Yeah. I was and then the PC version of Space Hulk came out, and then they did Warhammer, Shadow of the Horned Rat, which I played relentlessly.
There's still some really good ones that there's some first persons that are not too bad but I don't own.
Actually, I had a lot of fun with Space Marine, just the game called Space Marine.
Yeah.
That I really enjoyed that. Mostly playing multiplayer, really, because then I could play as Chaos Marine, Happy Camper.
Oh, side note.
Yeah.
Minor tangent.
Okay.
The Evil Genius 2 launched yesterday.
I saw that, man. I was just,
I'm waiting for it to get cheaper, but I'm playing the shit out of that.
Yeah.
I do mean the shit out of that.
I posted some picture.
Inquisitor Martyr. That one's one of the ones that's actually on my wish list.
Dude, that game is awesome, but it's fucking huge. It's just too many gigs.
Dude, it's too big. I ain't got time to play all that.
it's like 100 fucking gigs. It's ridiculous.
No, yeah, it's like what is it? Oh, Assassin's Creed Origins. Yeah, it's like 100 gigs with all the DLCs.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
Oh,
almost 200 hours.
I posted those some pictures of the Nurgle stuff that I painted on
Oh, okay.
Discord.
On our
In the Discord.
the show page.
No, the Discord. I can
Oh, the
throw them up.
Discord. I don't know that I can.
Yeah, you can download.
Well, no, it's not that. And please tell me you didn't. Oh, yeah, you did it in the welcome channel. It's okay.
Oh,
I
whoops.
see. Yeah, it's all right, man. No, he won't. They won't get uptight about that.
Okay.
It's just that. But I would recommend don't do it again. Just the general channel would be perfectly good for that. Anyway, Gladius, Relics of War. I'm looking to play that one.
That one I haven't got to mess with.
The
Mainly
de-
because
the-
I'm debating on whether or not I want to download the Chaos DLC for that, or even the Tau Tyranids. Just something besides fucking Space Marines. I'm serious, man. I am so. I mean, dude, I like certain chapters. Like, I love the Blood Angels. I like the Dark Angels because I like the Fallen
their whole.
concept. Love that. You know, they got a great story behind them. I think the Ultramarines are bullshit. They
You
suck.
need to stop.
The Ultramarines can suck my nuts, okay? I mean, and the Black
And
Templars.
they shall know no fear, motherfucker.
Yeah, get to the false emperor. Fuck you. That's why we're taking over.
Yeah, by the way, Bob, Inquisitor Martyr's on my wish list as well. There's there's a lot of shit that I don't own yet. I've noticed too. Death Watch, the enhanced edition, looks like it could be fun. Although they're saying that, there's some mixed reviews on that one. So
I don't know. See, I collect Games Workshop games.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a bunch that I've just seriously never gotten a chance to get into. Or I started them and they just sucked. But like I said, the one, like Inquisitor's great. Gladius is great so far. It's I got to open it up and play with it for a little bit, but then I got sucked into Cyberpunk. So
yeah, I saw that.
yeah,
Mechanicus looks like it might be some fun too.
well, yeah, they expand. That's like a little standalone expansion for Inquisitor, and yeah, you can play an AdMech, and it's pretty sweet. But that game, I tell you, it's a lot more fun than Diablo. I mean, it's a lot more fun than Diablo, and it's so fucking huge.
I know.
It's gigantic.
By the way, I don't know if are you reading the chat, dude?
No, I don't have.
Bob's fucking with you, dude.
Hold this up.
Hold my beer. And we actually have another World of Darkness game coming out soon. They better not fuck this one up, or I'll riot. And maybe a riot of one, but I'm all riot. Wraith the Oblivion Afterlife.
Let me see. If you check out Outstar's channel, she does a playthrough of that.
Does she?
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet because I'm interested, but then again, I don't have VR. I don't have VR gear.
No, not yet, but this stuff's getting cheaper.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
No, not yet, but that stuff. Ultramar is perfect.
We marched from a crag, motherfucker.
I kind of like how, we went on that rant fest for a good 3 weeks, 3 episodes or whatever, and like everybody remembers that. and not the 3 years we've been doing the show.
I know.
Oh, Jesus. I just think that's hilarious, you know? Because we're crotchety old men.
I'm sorry?
We're crotchety old men who've been playing these games for too fucking long.
Yeah, I know, right? No shit.
'Cause,
Okay.
I mean,
No, Bob, I do too. They, like I just said, though, they better not fuck it up. They're gonna be some
yeah.
very upset people.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to figure out what they're doing with the other properties, you know? I mean, yeah, they're making games and stuff, which is cool. You know, it's about time they made some really good World Darkness games. You know, besides just Bloodlines and Redemption,
Yeah.
which are good games.
Speaking of which, you've been playing quite a bit of that lately.
Yeah. I loaded up the Antiterbu mod so that I can play Sabat
Ah,
and Giovanni and stuff. And Nagaraja and all kinds of cool stuff.
I didn't know there were some mods for that one other than the basic, because it came with an editor so you could do your own.
Oh no, it was originally a Redemption. I've been playing a lot of that too.
That's what I'm talking about. I've been watching you play.
Okay, Redemption. Yeah. There's a Sabat mod for that too.
I didn't know they made mods for it.
Yeah, they actually there's a guy who used AI to up the graphics, all the textures.
Nice.
And it looks nice.
There's a lot of upscaling going on that way, and I'm having big fun with that.
With what?
That they're upscaling some of these old games
to
make them look better.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of AAA companies that have done that. Like with the new that new Final Fantasy VII upscale they did, the remake. They just fucking remade the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I saw that. And I'm interested.
And so yes, they are doing a lot of really cool things that way, and the AI seems to be helping a lot with some of this upscaling shit, because going back and redoing every single texture by hand is going to be a major pain in the ass.
But you know what, man? There were some people who did that with Bloodlines. There has been a modding community for that since SDK first came out. And people have been modding it like crazy. As a matter of fact, for Redemption,
there's one that allows you to freaking skip that bullshit scene.
Yeah. Almost all of them have a little click mark where you can skip the beginning that you're forced to watch.
Kind of like they've kind of done with some of the mods for Skyrim. That beginning bullshit.
Well, I like the one Skyrim mod I like is where you choose how you begin. You choose a life path, and it gives you a couple extra little things.
Okay, no, I haven't played that one.
Yeah, it's just I can't even remember what the mod's called. But yeah. The other thing is that for Redemption, way back in the day, I actually did some programming for the Zemisi in that. I did a lot of the I did Vicissitude in Redemption for that movie.
Oh.
Yeah. I was on a team with a couple other dudes, and we did it so that we could play multiplayer with it. And that's what we did. We actually ran games, full role playing games online.
Yes, that was what that was what the original editor that it came with was designed for. Was for storytellers.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried, but I couldn't get nobody else to buy the damn game.
Man, we had a whole bunch of people in Austin that we were LARPing. So I mean, when those games came out,
Speaking of LARPing, I've been going back through the. I've been buying the Audible versions of Larry Niven's Dream Park series.
Cool.
Talk about LARPing. Are you familiar?
Like mildly.
Using holograms and actual locations to play role playing games. Now,
Oh,
the thing is, they're all human. All the players are human, which kind
uh,
of weird. And they're using the dual system where both magic and technology work.
oh, cool.
So yeah,
I like Shadowrun. I love Shadowrun.
yeah, but not as dark.
Yeah. Well, you can make Shadowrun really dark.
That's one. Yeah, that was the way.
Yeah. I
There's a
mean, that's
never
why I
cut
ran
never
it.
ever cut a
They
deal with
have
a dragon.
they have a vampiric. No, man, they've got the human metahuman vampiric virus in Shadowrun, and it turns elves into banshees. It turns orcs into something else, and humans into vampires. But they're all vampires, and
Okay.
it's really cool. So I used that a lot. Like basically, I made this NPC that was a banshee, an elf with the virus, but he was jacked up like to the nines with cyber tech. So he was disgusting.
I'll bet. So, there was a major patch for Cyberpunk yesterday or the day
Yes,
before.
I still haven't. I haven't. I haven't. I downloaded it. It took all fucking day.
Yeah, it's what it said. They said it was a big one.
It's like it was 20. No, it's 35 gigs just for an
Just
update.
for a
I mean,
patch, yeah.
the game itself is almost that big.
Now, the one thing I hear that everybody's bitching about was they pulled the slide drop out, so you can't jump off of buildings
Oh
sliding,
yeah,
and it'll kill you now if you try.
yeah. They like, dude. The patch notes on that thing is 2 fucking pages of just.
hmm
Oh
They
my
did a
god! Like,
quick scan through it. I watched some stuff here on YouTube. Um,
yeah, it's
Speaking
like
of
reading.
which, just as a side note for people who may be listening to the show later, there's a fella here on YouTube who goes by the handle Lutin09, Leutin09. He does a lot of really cool Warhammer shit. Really long videos though, so you got to be. They're more of a you start it while you're driving and listen kind of thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I think his shortest Warhammer video is like an hour, and he had to break up his part his dissertation on the Emperor into 3 separate 2-hour sections.
wow.
Yeah. Nah, he did his research, man. He did his research.
Did
Uh,
you put these figs up yet in the thing?
ah,
Take a
yes.
look at them.
Let me.
I'm really
I
proud of
can, see. That's the thing is putting them up one at a time. I can do that, but it's gonna
it.
give me a second.
Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, what do you think of them?
I like them. They're suggestion. Um,
Yeah, I already sold these
do
off.
your try to get your angles a little. You're a little high on your angles for these pictures.
Oh, you're talking about the pictures. Fuck the pictures. I just want to make sure the figs look
Oh, the figs look nice.
awesome. Okay.
Oh, very nice. Very, very nice.
I've been practicing a whole lot and have really, I think, upped my game in all the senses. Just ever since the stroke, it's been like, I've been rebuilding having to almost restart completely, but in the process of relearning how to paint, I've picked up more techniques that I couldn't do before. So, yeah, I'm going through some of my buddies' figs and doing some just
Touch up work.
yeah, basically. I mean, I've got a couple. I mean, I got this Tau Force for Kill Team for him, and it's all built, but I'm going through now, and I got the base down, and I'm just going through some highlights and blending and stuff like that too, and blacklining with a pen, because they've got those fucking, they got the joints in the armor, the line that no matter what the color armor is, it's got a black line and all. So I gotta go. I got a bunch of these micron pens, and there's a secret involved in these. You get the smallest one, which is .003. It's tiny as all fuck.
I'll bet.
But you can do eyeballs with that. Pupils and eyeballs.
Wow.
And all the black lining you could possibly imagine. It is brilliant, and I love it. It's just so much easier than sitting there, trying to hold the brush to the pupil, because I have to get anal about it and end up with somebody with derp face, one eye going one way, one eye going another. Except for the one fig I painted that way on purpose, where I thought I messed it up. I'm like, no, he's supposed to have that wandering eye, goddammit.
It's supposed to, yeah, he's supposed to be.
It was a Malibu fig, yeah. But purposeful derp face.
So.
Oh yeah, the alien space virus that takes over vampire bodies. Oh my God, you read that fucking book? The book that shall not be named, Dirty Secrets of the Black Hand. See, I mean, and back then that was the big controversy. That book.
Well, see, and that's back when controversies were worth actually talking about.
True. I mean,
I'm telling you, man.
That was some guys got pissed off and White Wolf wrote the book in bail. And just to fuck with them. And they put it out, and then they actually read it after they fucking published it. And we're like, wait, this isn't right. Those dicks.
So, what have you got coming up? I told you what I've got. Are you planning to get anything soon for Warhammer, or are you just going to keep going with the...
I'm chugging around painting right now. I'm waiting for the game stores to open back up so I can go sit in a game store and paint.
Right.
And draw in some business.
Right.
At least somebody giving
you
some...
dude, that was the way to sell figs back in the day, was in the case at a freaking game store, because people would walk in, see that, and go, "Hey, I gotta have that."
Yeah.
And watching you do it, you might actually be able to line up some orders, which is even better money.
Mostly what I do is I'll play different games, and I always have extra figs. I'll have, especially for like Malifaux, I have a ton of extra stuff that I'll just make a little crew and just teach people how to play. But mostly when me and like another commission painter would hang out in the store and paint, we that's how we got work. That's how we were able to kind of keep our extra game money going. And yes, really, that's what happened, Bob. Yeah, because basically people will watch you paint, and then they'll see what you're doing, and then if they buy something, they don't feel like painting it, they'll pay me to paint it, and then I'm a happy camper,
There you go. See, that's what I was talking about, those orders.
Yeah, I mean, and COVID has just fucking killed everything, because I can't, no matter what I do.
Did you get your vaccination yet?
Huh?
Did you get your vaccination yet?
No, I'm still waiting. I still have to wait.
But it's not because I can't. It's just my car. I cracked the engine block during that hard freeze. I didn't have enough antifreeze. So, and the only place in this county to get one is the health department, which is 30 miles away. My car, I can make it 14 miles if I carry 2 gallons of water with me, but that's about it. Which gets me to Mont Eagle and back.
Yeah.
That's where my post office is and where my pharmacy is. That's just so I'm waiting for the next check, which I still haven't gotten. For I'm gonna buy another car.
Oh, you mean the stimulus?
Um,
If you're on SSD or I, they're sending those out sometime next week or something like that.
okay,
They're shit in a bind. So uh, because of Trump appointees, basically.
probably.
No, really, that's why Social Security people haven't gotten theirs yet. They had to fire the guy in charge of the IRS.
Oh, figures. He just
Well,
put as many sketchy motherfuckers in office as he could, didn't he?
yeah, no, he did, and they're getting rid of all of them. So,
I'm not really don't want to talk about politics on the show. It's just
oh, yeah.
so not.
Sorry, I just went off on some weird
Yeah, no,
tangent.
that's cool. I get. I'm just saying. Let's just leave it at that. So, all right, yeah, we're gonna do more White Wolf stuff. I would have done a show about Earthblood, but you didn't want to hear me bitch for an hour. So, I'm just saying it was a fun game for about an hour, and then once I started realizing that all of these places that I was infiltrating, quote unquote, and were just cookie stamped out, man. They put no effort into level design, none.
Oh, well, that's some bullshit.
It was complete crap. I was like, okay, no, graphically it's very pretty. The Krynos form is just and when you actually go full Krynos and just shred people, it's just great. It is. It's beautiful. Blood everywhere, and not too mean. Everywhere. I actually went and tried to get blood on the ceiling in one place just to see if I could do it, and it did. But other than that, man, that's about the most entertaining part of the whole situation. I couldn't tell you anything about the storyline other than Endron and Pentex. That's it. That's all I know.
That's kind of like the majority of werewolf sometimes. It's.
I
I don't
didn't
know.
get that far, man. Sorry, go
I guess
ahead. I was talking to Bob.
it's just the way people run it. I mean, it's like with I started a game with some new guys. I have one game, a 5th edition, with brand spanking new players that have never played Vampire before in their life.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
So I got that going on, and then
They don't have any bad habits to break.
no, yeah, no, it's and they're excited and they're really into it and they're learning, and it's just beautiful to watch.
Yes,
it's awesome.
it is.
And then there's another game I'm playing in. I'm actually playing in a game. Oh my god!
Wow, cool.
Where I'm playing. Of course, I'm playing as a Misi because they came in, which makes me happy. And yeah, I'm doing it all kind of real Lord of the Manor, old clan kind of thing.
Now, if they pull off with Bloodlines 2, what they have promised us is that's going to probably show us a whole new world of what we were trying to get with Requiem, as far as the ability for a storyteller to do a and you could actually play the game as opposed to rolling dice.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
The whole system. Okay, here's the thing that's been bugging me about people doing stuff with 5th edition. They can't, if they're coming from, especially if they're coming from 20th anniversary edition, which I don't care what anybody says, it's vampire fan fiction.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Yes, it is.
How many dumbass rules can we shove into this fucking tome? It's like absolutely. And then, people go to 5th edition where literally the whole system is you roll dice, get successes, get more successes than the other guy. Anything else left over is damage. That's it. That's the whole system.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of flexibility there.
No, there's tons of flexibility. You just do whatever the fuck you want and roll some dice.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying with the dice roll is you not. You're not putting enough emphasis on the game itself. You're just putting all the emphasis into a random number generator.
No. I guess you're not getting what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's combat. That's the most complicated part of the entire of any role-playing game is combat. And combat is exactly what I described. That's
Bob,
it.
there's a show that we did on 5th edition. Go.
Mm-hmm.
You will find out exactly how we feel about it.
I love it. I fucking dig it. It's great.
It's awesome. I do enjoy it, but I'm saying there were parts of it that I do not like. Like all those whiny bitches.
Let me guess, you're whining about the Tremere.
No.
Oh shit.
The Nazi line.
There are no Nazis.
Oh no, there were never any Nazis apparently.
There weren't. There's literally, if you search the book, there's one word in the entire book that says white nationalist or something like that. Skinhead, describing a skinhead. And that's it.
No, that was the problem, is that there was a 4-word sentence discussing an archetype of bourgeois. And the social justice people lost their minds.
Oh, not just that. I mean, I'm talking about the games. Fuck those guys. They can eat a dick.
Yeah, a whole bag of dicks.
Because, I mean, the game is... One, it's storytelling. And people can't... Like I said, like I was trying to say, a lot of people that come in from the 20th anniversary bullshit think that they have to add... they have to add on fucked up rules. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When
the game is not designed for that shit. Oh yeah, I know. Totally. Don't get me started on Nazis. Yeah. But
that's what I'm saying. Is apparently no Nazis were ever turned at any point.
Well, no.
No, that's what the social justice warrior people want you to believe.
No.
Is that even vampires hate Nazis?
Yeah, they're fun to shoot. In a game.
Yeah. Well, not particularly fond of the real ones either, but I'm not gonna go as far as to shoot them.
What I was saying was that it's like for this version of the game, the more shit you add to it, the more fucked up it becomes.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's horribly simple. It's designed to be horribly simple. It's all roll this and that and get some successes and see how cool you look, right? But then people will, because they can't read English, will come up with some really random, weird-ass rule and think it's the coolest thing since sliced bread, and then I have to tell them, no, your rule sucks. Quit fucking reinventing the wheel. And then, of course, I put my caveat at the end of everything. Do whatever you want, have fun. Because honestly, I don't give a shit what people do with their game.
Page 96 in the old style book.
Do whatever the fuck you want.
Do whatever the fuck you want. Anyway, we're at the end of our time. We're not going to be doing the whole 2 hours because neither of us. I'm telling the folks who are listening as well, is that we're just not physically capable of doing the 2-hour stretches. Now, we might do some here and there, depending on what the show is about and how many guests we have. But if it's just going to be 2 or 3 people, an hour should be more than enough. And that's usually enough time for people to listen. If they're going to listen to us on the way to work or something.
Yeah, totally.
So,
Sounds good to me. And then, of course, no matter what we do, we're going to digress into World of Darkness no matter what.
Of course we are. Hello. We do remember why the show was originally started. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I sure do.
But it doesn't mean that we can't talk about other things as well.
Of course.
And video gaming is going to be a lot. I've spent a lot of time recently playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
And I've been doing all kinds of different miniatures games, so I got tons of stuff to talk about with that.
Right? Yeah, and tabletop is going to be coming more, not just tabletop World of Darkness, but tabletop games in general are going to be brought up quite a bit more often. D&D especially, because the folks that are sponsoring our voice channel for the show are Sandragon Games. Their link is in the description. Go check them out. There's a lot there for gamers. And their most recent Atlantis Fire and Flood, that's going to be coming out soon. It's going to be fun. Or is it Frost and Flood? I can never remember that. I'm thinking they should have thought about that before. I know it sounds cool.
Yeah, because I've picked up a bunch of different minis games. And some of them are cool, some of them are shit. But
right.
I kind of kept the ones that were cool, like Gaslands. Check this out. Do you remember an old game that Games Workshop did called Dark Future?
That one doesn't sound familiar.
It's basically Mad Max. Okay? Where you took Matchbox cars and you went at it.
Oh, well,
right?
Yeah, Steve Jackson with Car Wars.
No, it's different than Car Wars.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And Steve Jackson had Car Wars.
It's Car Wars, right. But this is years later where now they've come up with a whole different rule set, right?
Ah.
And you can build, it doesn't have any minis for it. You build them yourself. So you get Matchbox cars and you take bits of shit that you have laying around,
and
stick them on the car, paint it up, and you're good to go. So... Yes, TSR Marvel is the best superhero RPG. Have to agree.
Really?
Sorry,
Did they do that? Did TSR do a superhero one? They have tried over the years a couple of times.
No, the Marvel superheroes game was highly successful.
Yep.
I used to run it at lunch in junior high school.
Oh, cool. And yeah, Bob, Steve Jackson's Wacky Racers. I had way too much fun playing Car Wars, man. And it wasn't just Car Wars. Ogre and GAV and Illuminati. Oh my God, Illuminati.
I used to have that when they had those little pocket games, the ones in the plastic thing.
Yeah, that's the ones I'm talking about, yeah.
Yeah, that's how Car Wars started, but then also I used to have Mean Green Things from Outer Space.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that one.
That was a great I know, man. Awful Green Things from Outer Space. That's what it was. Oh, weren't we ending the show?
Yeah, but I just, we got tangented again. So,
we do it the way we always do.
Absolutely.
Trail off at the end.
So, Bob, thanks for joining us tonight, man. Hopefully we'll see you next time. And Brother Eric, it's good to see you and talk to you. It's always fun.
Right on.
And I'll get with you soon, and we'll work up something for the next show.
Sounds good, buddy.
Everybody say good night.